All right, welcome everybody to the inaugural feed of 2021 Bondurant Farrar Bluejay football. Tonight we have a scrimmage between the Bondurant Farrar Bluejays and the North Polk Comets. This is Patrick Meyer in the booth with Josh Gibson.
Hello.
And very much a scrimmage today, so you won't see any scores on the board. And we had a little freshman scrimmage and JV scrimmage going on earlier that both took up half the field, and really just a good opportunity for the players to get the dust kicked off a little bit with game action outside of hitting your own teammates.
Yeah, several years ago the state made this change where you could, instead of doing your annual soap scrimmage, you scrimmage another team, and I do think it's a great opportunity for you to figure out really who is going to be your varsity players. You've been playing against your own team for quite a while now, and here's a great chance to see what you can do against other teams.
Absolutely. So this will be kind of a working out the kinks for us as well, because we haven't seen these guys play at all this year, and some of the kids changed numbers and are at different positions, or have just stepped up from a JV role that maybe we haven't seen them as much. So we're going to get as many of the kids' names in as possible as we go, both between Bondurant Farrar and North Polk. The North Polk roster was a pretty recent delivery to us, so we'll do our best getting some of those names in there as well. But as far as what to expect, we're going to have about 25 minutes, then they're going to take a break, and then 25 minutes as well. So you might see some situational work in there at times. So if you're looking for a super clean football game, this isn't going to be it. There'll be some down and distance stuff, but other times it'll just be, hey, why are they redoing that?
Yep, just an opportunity for everybody to kind of work the kinks out, including the officials. Let them get back into officiating game because it's been a while for them as well. And also, it's kind of nice getting to play North Polk, a rivalry school. Normally they're with us in the same class, but they managed to land in 3A district this year, and we're up in 4A.
And that is the difference this year with Iowa going to a 5-class system. So Bondurant Farrar is in 4A, not 3A, but that is not 4A with Valley and Southeast Polk. They're in 5A. So
I think overall it'll be a good change for the state. Get more teams of equal size or comparable size playing against each other, because sometimes even you get up to that top division, you'll see a difference between 1,500 from the bottom school beds count to the top school. So
yeah, I think Valley was at like 2,600 in their beds count, which, if you're into that stuff, is freshman, sophomore, junior.
So
class.
Closer to 2,000, because the bottom of 4A traditionally has been 700. So yeah, it's a pretty big gap.
So Indianola, I think, was on the cusp of barely into 4A last year, so they're going to come down to 3A this year with us, and their beds numbers, right around 800. So that's like a 1,900 kid difference in the beds number, which ignores one of the 4 grades out, essentially. Yep. So yeah, it's a sizable difference. So it should clean things up a little bit on 5A. 4A, the biggest ones are going to be about double the size of the smallest ones, but not quadruple the size. So
yeah, more equitable.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see if they take that into some other sports, because there are still some sports that are only a 3-class system, and with football you got five.
Well, you've seen it with girls. You've
seen
it with girls sports. You haven't seen it with guys.
Yeah. Yep. So this is boys sports' first endeavor into the 5A world, but with football there's also an A and an 8-man. So it's an 8-class system this year. 7-class system.
7, I think.
Yeah. As far as 8-man, that's a whole nother world where they have 70 and 80-point games. So,
are we playing special teams tonight, or just kind of lining up like we were going to and not actually do it?
I feel like we line up, but it's no contact.
Act like we kick off and everybody starts with the ball.
Run down
25.
the field, yeah.
Okay.
Now that being said, I haven't seen anything official.
We'll find out.
Let's see. So going from the bottom, we got Sam Fuller, Tyson Barkema, Eli Larson, Marcus Teed, Zach Sollers. 20.
Yep, number 7. Yep, 23
is Batney. 2 is Caleb Moore. 34 is Jacob Vanderlinden. 25 is Sam Fuller. I said 24. Oh, 24 is Quentin Burt. 25 is Sam Fuller. And 14 at the top. It looks like that's an unnumbered person.
Not on the list.
You don't exist, sir. I'm sorry.
List.
Unless that's not a 14, but it sure looks like it.
It's 14. Maybe we could take guesses.
Well, I would assume it's somebody that didn't play in the JV game because I was kind of noting them. So, shouldn't be Brock.
Is it Andrew Keith?
Oh, it could be Andrew Keith.
He's not.
Oh, why is 14?
He's not listed.
It is 14 listed.
Oh, it's out of order.
It's
out of order.
I don't know who put this. This was not one of us that put this roster together, but Andrew Keith, where 14 comes after 18.
It's a nice kick. One hop into the end zone.
Was that Cram's kickoff?
Yep.
He snuck in there after we ran top to bottom on who was all out there. So Bondurant Ferrari kicks off. North Polk is going to come out and run some offense to start with. We do not have a so-called starting lineup, but we'll get what we can out of this. I think you were talking earlier, Bryce Aspengren should be the returning quarterback, number 15 most likely. Shotgun formation, that is a 15. And he's going to look to pass right out of the gate, going deep. That pass is going to fall incomplete, intended for Sal Capaldo.
It looked like Sal had some separation there. The quarterback just wasn't quite able to get enough into that and underthrew the ball.
A little bit too far to the inside on that one. I think Sal had him beat to the outside. The wind is blowing towards the south end zone. We were a little concerned that we might be hard to hear, but so far it sounds like that's not too bad on the wind noise. We hand it off there to number 23, Brady Miller, 5'9" junior for North Polk. Stopped for a loss by a...
I think Powers got in the backfield on that one. Looked like he followed a pulling guard there and nobody blocked back on him. Pretty easy play for him.
Powers in there at the middle, number 37. Shotgun formation, looking to pass again. Over the middle, pass is complete to Capaldo, and tackle made by number 14, Andrew Keith.
That was a real nice tackle because there was quite a bit of space there for Capaldo to work with, and if he would have missed that tackle, I think he would have got the first down. It's a good pitch and catch, but nice tackle by Keith, keeping him in front of him.
So we are going to line up to punt. Barkema is going to drop back with Nolan Meyer on the punt. Andrew Keith came out. Barkema in. 82 is dropping back to punt. That is Dylan Hanlon, O-lineman / punter. Snap is away. A little low. Punts off to the side. And Meyer's going to come and watch it roll out of bounds. Blue Jays are going to have the ball at the 48-yard line. And this will be their first possession of 2021.
I think a couple things to look for this year is the progression that Collison makes from last year to this year. Being a sophomore, that's always an educational experience. So I think we'll see some big strides out of him, maybe a little more confidence in him throwing the ball down the field.
Sure, definitely going to see a heavy dose of Porter Smith and Titus Cram in the backfield still. But Collison with the keeper to start with, gets to the outside, gains about 16, 17, and is brought down by number 32, Nick Cox. And, I thought somebody was down, but he was just picking up his mouthpiece, maybe?
Not sure if that was called or read, but that was a nice job out of Colby to make a pretty big gain there, about 15 yards.
So we were chatting earlier. Colby doesn't run a ton, but he definitely, when he gets out there, he covers a lot of ground. And so we could see a little more of that, and Cram and Porter are definitely going to draw attention when they have the ball. This is a jet sweep to Nolan Meyer. Nolan Meyer going to take it all the way into the end zone for a 33-yard touchdown.
really, really good blocking there. Nolan really didn't have to make anybody miss and didn't get touched on the play.
Yep.
They overloaded the left side there a little bit, or Polk probably didn't adjust as much as they would have liked to have. And all those guys did a great job of sealing their guy inside. And I think Nolan is also going to be a guy that might be a game changer for us this year. We saw a little bit with him last year playing quarterback, coming in. But I think in the return game and the receiving game and obviously on jet sweep there now.
Cram's kick is wide left, just didn't get under it at all. But
he'll be a big playmaker for us.
Definitely a lot of weapons return for the Blue Jays. We bring back the quarterback, both tailbacks, Meyer at wide receiver. Ike Meyer graduated last year, but Meyer is super excited to step into that role. Barkma, I think you could see going downfield some. He tends to have really good hands. You're going to miss Oscar, obviously, Oscar White, who anytime he was man-on-man, he got the ball, whether it was offense or defense. He caught every single ball that went up. So you're going to miss that. But Barkma has some sticky fingers there, too, so you might see him pull down some of that same stuff. Blue Jays going to look to kick off here. Capaldo and Cox are back to return.
I think the Blue Jays need one more guy out there.
On the top side there, that's going to be Andrew Keith. Now that we found what number you are, we have to call you out. Cram going to kick off again. Into the wind. Ball up. Nice solid kick again. Capaldo's going to field it at the 3, 2, and it's just going to be a dead ball. They're going to bring it back up to the, was it 20 I think we started at? Or 25?
Well, 20 last time we kicked in the end zone. This one,
I think we're still starting at the 20.
Still starting at the 20.
So let's see if we can run off some starters here for the Blue Jays. If I got this right, we're going to have Brock Turner at one defensive end. He's on the right side. Tyler Harms at defensive tackle and Mitchell Caskey at the nose. Our dog and rush, Evan Reha and Batney Riak. Linebackers, you got John Powers in the middle. Mislin going strong side and Cole Mitchell going weak side. That passes up. Hits the man on the screen pass. That was Parkins with the reception. Brought down for about a 2-yard gain.
Looked like Eli Larson made that tackle. Is he out there, 22? Yep, that was Eli. Real nice play out of him, shedding that blocker to get off and make a nice tackle for a short gain.
Finishing up the Blue Jays defensive starting lineup, Titus Cram is your free safety. Nolan Meyer and Andrew Keith are your cornerbacks. Pass up. Capaldo with the reception. Powers trying to chase him down there.
Oh.
Capaldo may have a step on him. And about 7 more steps. He's not slow. And he's going to take that all the way into the end zone for a 78-yard touchdown for North Polk.
Tell me track doesn't help.
Yeah.
That's what happens if you don't make that tackle. We saw that on the first series where Keith was able to come up and secure the tackle right there. We were not. And Sal made a really nice move and just outran everybody down the sideline.
Yeah, not too often are you going to have a middle linebacker that's going to keep up with that guy. Powers did his best, but once he had a step on him.
That's a tough guard.
We got a Blue Jay down on that play.
Well, tonight heat will be a concern. It is.
Yep.
It is definitely warm. Kids need to make sure that they've stayed hydrated. Don't know if that's the case here.
Is that Eli? Yeah, Eli Larson is the player coming up. He does look like maybe he just got a little either a wind knocked out of him or
looks woozy.
He's shaking his head no to somebody. Which is our first opportunity to highlight Sarah Moss, the famed athletic trainer for Bondurant Farrar schools. She is at about 98% of the sporting activities that go on for Bondurant, I believe. We're a big fan of having her around. And as always, happy birthday, Sarah.
And most people put like quarterbacks in red jerseys, but it looks like North Polk's putting their kicker in black pants, and everybody else has got white pants.
So who we got there? Number 12, Tate Hepler.
Can't get the guy the same color pants?
Hey, you're not supposed to hit the kicker either. No good on that.
Wide left. So 2 missed PATs.
Our non-scoring score would be 6-6 here. If you were into such things of not keeping track of stuff.
Yep.
Which is not how you'll be treated at Bird's Nest, where they will watch your kids and help them be able to count past 6. Props to Bird's Nest for sponsoring all of our football broadcasts this year. We'll probably come up with something more scripted as we go into the season, but I'm just making stuff up as I go right now.
That would be nice. I think they probably would deserve something better than what you just delivered.
Oh, come on. Fun hater.
All right, let's see. We're going to return a kick. It looks like you got Barkema back there.
And Fuller and Burt.
Okay.
So Barkema's in the middle. Sam Fuller to the high side of the field. Quentin Burt to the short side. Caleb Moore in the middle there.
Looks like you got Batney and White out there. Caleb Moore in the middle.
You got a Vanderlinden, Schoening
You might have
up front.
Conrad, yep.
Conrad, yep.
Reha. Probably the fastest left tackle in the state.
I think it was true last year, and I imagine it's still true this year. Powers is up there, and Andrew Keith, I think. So we're getting ready to kick off here. Looks like that's Nick Cox to kick. Ball is up. Going to be fielded short, and Barkham is going to catch it at the 18. It does appear we have no intentions of having actual returns, which is kind of what we expected.
Yep, pretty standard, I think.
So make sure you catch the ball, get the motion of not running off sides, and not get anybody hurt. Historically, kickoffs have been one of the more dangerous plays in football because you got full speed before you make contact. And
yeah, I think tonight their main idea is just to make sure that the right guys get out there.
Yep.
When it's their team that's up, that the guys show up, and we saw already that we had one time where one didn't. So you're working out the kinks.
Cram, the man in motion. He's going to take the jet sweep. Actually, he's not, because we're going to have a flag on the play. False start on the Blue Jays. Going to take it back 5 yards.
I think it was going to be play action.
I think it might have been too, but
we'll see. See if we roll back and run the same thing.
So Meyer and Cram to the left side. To the right side, Cole Mitchell. Screen pass to Porter Smith. No. Who is that? 33, Caskey.
No, he fumbled it.
Dropped the ball at the end. Recovered by Quentin Burt.
Get a little nervous about those old lineman guys carrying the football.
He's 2 years removed from being an old lineman, right?
I'm not sure how many times he touched the football, though, last year. Might have to work on that.
At least once in a postseason game, right? Didn't we run a screen pass to him in the postseason?
He caught a couple out in the flat.
So Quentin Burt's the receiver on the high side. Nolan on the close side. Handoff to Cram up the middle. Cram's going to get tackled for about a 3-yard loss. Or 2-yard gain. Not a 3-yard loss. I was going to claim a 3-yard gain.
I think it was, I thought I saw the Brimner kid in there.
Charlie Rhodes was in there. Number 3, yeah, Brimner was definitely in there. I think Rhodes went low. Brimner went high.
Pretty good job of North Polk piling things up in the middle there, not giving Titus a lot of running room.
So Mitchell, Burt, and Cram over here. We're going to look to throw this way to Quentin Burt. Burt makes a move outside. Cole Mitchell with a nice block, and Burt picks up another 6 or 7 on the play. Gets a first down out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
Very interesting to see what Burt can bring to the table this year. He had a great track season last year, finished 5th or 6th in the high hurdles. Supposedly ran a really fast 40. He's a pretty good sized kid. I would think would be a nice down the field target for us. And really pretty new to varsity, so we'll see.
Cram with the handoff taken outside. North Polk smells that, shuts it down for a short gain. It went from 3rd down to 2nd down because our chain crew's in the preseason as well.
Yep. Well, we were hustling. We were snapping the ball pretty quick there. Austin Parkins made a nice job of forcing Cram inside, and then the rest of the crew was there to clean up for basically a no gain.
Cram in the backfield. Caskey lined up in front of him at fullback. Burt in motion. He's going to take a pitch, and he's going to try and get to the edge. Cuts up. Nick Cox meets him there and gets some help from some friends. It's going to be a short gain on the play for Burt. Good decision to cut up, though, because I don't think there was much when if he would have continued on outside.
No, and that's, again, I was kind of wondering how are we going to use him and his speed, because he is fast, and that looks like a play that potentially could be a pretty big hitter for us.
Sure.
Just need a little bit better blocking than what we saw there.
And anytime you can take some misdirection away from a couple other kids that get the ball more, that's going to be helpful too. Quick pass out to Meyer. Meyer tries to make a move, gets around Mart, and out of bounds for a first down at the 27, it looks like, where we're going.
I would say last year that was probably the strength of Colby right there, is those quick hitters, those 5 to 7 yard outs, quick hitches. And he shows it again right there that he's pretty accurate in those passes. And it helps that he's 6'3". You can see over that line. Pretty easy throw for him, really.
And Meyer does like to try to make that first man miss. So if you get him with a couple feet of space, there's a good chance you're going to have it. Collison rolling out, throws it up high to Meyer. Meyer in the – ooh. Too easy. He wasn't – I don't know. That's why we have these games. He's going to come up with that play most of the time.
I like the design of the play there. We've seen a lot of jet sweep action at us tonight and in the past. One thing we haven't seen a ton out of it is that play action, and that's a nice little bootleg off of that jet sweep. Meyer had his guy beat. I'm sure he's going to wish he had that one back, but it's the preseason.
That was a great touch pass, by the way. I mean, he dropped it right in there. Cram now up the middle, takes it out to the left, back into the right, and is going to get a few more yards. Brought down by Parkins on the play. Gain of about 7.
First down.
Was it a first down?
Yep. Yeah, he got about 11.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to look around this window frame.
Pretty nice blocking right there. Good job running power. Loading it up here.
Going to hand it off to Cram right side this time. Gets about 4 yards before he's hit and gets another 3 or 4 on his own. He's going to be about 8 yards on the play.
8 or 9. The Blue Jays there are going to what would probably be a heavy or jumbo type of set. 10 guys in the box, two of those H-backs leading up through the hole. Pretty easy running there for Titus.
Barkema out wide. Powers and Caskey in at fullbacks. Hand off to Cram right behind them. Picks up the first down and a couple more yards. Good straight ahead running. This is where you highlight the offensive line there for the Blue Jays. Left tackle Evan Reha, he's a returning starter. Left guard is Dalton House, and center is Hudson Vrew. Vrew got some starts in there at the end of the year last year as a freshman and stepping up here as a sophomore. Tyler Harmsen at right guard. Collison looking to pass, throws to Caskey. Caskey with a triple take and catches it for a touchdown. Right tackle, Cameron Mislin coming back from an injury he missed last football season, and definitely a solid football player.
The old lineman wanted to drop that one, but he had a little bobble there, but brought it in. Nice play action. It's a really good play down on the goal line when they were expecting the run. Got that linebacker to bite that was supposed to be covering him, and pretty easy pitch and catch for a touchdown.
So Cram the snap, or the kick off the snap, and off the upright, and
I think it's stuck in. We're going to need to speed up the process a little bit there. That was a little bit slow.
It's possible they haven't been as much time practicing their kicking as
probably not
as offense and defense when your kicker also has a key role on both of those positions. So.
Really nice drive out of the Blue Jays there. Mixed in some power runs, some play action, some quick hitters. Good job of mixing it up on the play calls and kind of kept the Comets on their toes there, I think, a little bit.
Power's going to sneak out there for the kickoff team. I think instead of Larson this time. Trying to decide if I can find him on the sidelines at this point. He might have went inside with the other. No, the other trainer's over there. Cram's kick is up and going to be fielded at the 1. Not a bad spot if you can consistently drop the kick right there inside the 5, because it kind of makes them, the opponent, have a questionable decision on whether they want to field it and return it or let it bounce and roll into the end zone.
Yeah, you're in that spot there. You probably almost always have to catch it if you can, because you never know how the football's going to bounce, and all of a sudden it ends up inside the 5-yard line, and coach isn't very happy with you.
I mean, with that one right there, it's just as likely it could have rolled out of bounds, rolled back to the 5, rolled into the end zone. North Polk back out there. Aspengren to drop back for the pass, and Bluejays got a lot of pressure on there. Caskey, Riak were both in there along with Reha, I think.
Yeah, the referee blew it dead. He wasn't hit yet. I think he was worried that the quarterback was going to get smashed there, and I couldn't tell if that was a screen or just a crossing route. He was throwing it to a guy.
With the way the D-line came through, it feels like it was a screen.
Yeah, they definitely got through pretty easily.
3 to the left, 1 to the right here for North Polk. Drop back, dump off pass. Good speed out of Miller. Gets to the edge for a first down gain of about 13.
Pretty good tackle there on the sideline between Batney and Andrew Keith. Nice blocking out of North Polk, too, on that tailback swing pass.
Now they can drop back, throw it to the left. Capaldo with the reception, and Keith gets there, brings him down out of bounds, but picks up the first down, gain of about 11 or 12.
Boy, it sure looks like Sal's going to be a tough guy to guard for a lot of those guys in their 3A district. He's a good-sized kid, and he runs really well. Right now, him and his quarterback are connecting pretty easily there. That's the third catch of the night on that hitch route.
And it's a tough spot for Keith to be in, because if you try to press him and he ends up getting behind you, you're not going to catch him.
Which we did the first play of the game.
Right.
And
Miller with the draw play, brought down for little gain. Mitchell was around his ankles, and I think Caskey helped finish up top. Gain of about 2 on the play.
My guess is that the Jays, again, are going to be pretty stout. Pretty stout against the run game. We've got some good guys coming back. The return of Mislin, I do think, will really
on both sides of the ball
will really secure that defense.
Capaldo gets to the outside. Cram goes for an ankle and doesn't quite get there. Myers able to push him out of bounds.
We talked about the loss of Miller. He'll be hard to replace, but I think you move Mislin in there, and that kind of helps. The replacement of Oscar will be tough. 9 interceptions. It's amazing he gets to 9. Like, teams keep throwing. How stubborn you got to be. Stop throwing to him. I think the guy that's going to be hard for them to replace is Snyder.
Yeah.
He's a really good 3 technique, very athletic, and you just don't find a ton of D tackles that were as good as he was.
Right. Very strong kid.
Looks like North Polk signaling in some plays from the sideline.
A little more stack in the box for the Blue Jays this time. Gonna try to run to the right, but Riak was there to meet him. Short loss on the play. Good job standing it up by the sophomore.
Well, I talked about this last year, and I don't think things are going to change. Coach Fonts is going to take away your run game. He is going to load up the box, and he's going to force you to throw. And we've got good players in there. I just don't think that teams are going to have much success running the football. I think what North Polk has done, where they've went play action or quick hitters, is probably what teams are going to have to do. But we'll see.
Mitchell looking to come in on the blitz. Aspingen rolls out to left.
They were ready that time for it.
Went for Engebretson on the play. Good closeout speed there. Yeah, Keith on the tackle, or the breakup.
Got 3rd and long here, third and 11. Wonder if we'll see a little deep ball down here at the bottom to Capaldo.
I'm going to get a timeout.
Meyer making the switch to corner, didn't play corner for us last year. I am interested to see how he'll do out there. I think that'll be a really good spot for him. Super athletic kid.
Mm-hmm.
Should be able to play our technique pretty well, I would think. This would be a good test right here if they throw one up to Capaldo.
Now, Keith has been on him most of the time, the way it's worked out.
He's always, he's normally been on the top side or the east side of the field. He was going to the bottom side here, which is where Meyer was playing. So
the Blue Jays don't normally flip the defensive back side to side. About 9 minutes left in this first half, if you want to call it such a thing. North Polk coming back out now.
Yeah,
Aspengren with Cox in the backfield next to him.
We do get that matchup here on the bottom. I got to think the way North Polk's been calling their plays, this is where they're going, whether it's a fade route or a post.
Aspengren drops back. And they blow the whistle dead. A lot of pressure. And
that's close. I'd have to go back and look at that, but it looked like Batney was really close to being offsides. I don't know if he timed it up that well.
Yeah.
But that was borderline. And I don't think that play was going. Regardless.
Yeah, it was close. The replay's on the screen, so it was a short delay. It looked close. North Polk lining up for the punt. Up and towards the corner. Nolan Meyer's going to fair catch it at the 4.
That's one that you probably let
go.
Yeah.
Yep.
That old saying of put your heels on the 10. If you got to move back, you let it go. He caught that around the 4 or the 5. That'd be a good coaching tool to look at on video that, hey,
yeah,
good teaching point. You got to let that one go. Take your chances.
All right, so Blue Jays going to take over inside the 5. Hand off to Porter Smith up the middle. Weaves back and forth, and technically he gets outside now, and he's going to break it. Foot race. Haney's able to drag him down at the 45-yard line, a gain of about 52 on the play. Good cut by Porter to get outside.
Great initial blocking, then Porter really does a lot of it himself once he gets to that next level. Like you said, makes a really good cut back against the grain, and just about took that thing to the house.
Collison going to pitch it up to Porter this time. Caskey out in front with the lead block. Gets to the outside, makes a cut inside, and he's got the edge, and he's going to get down, pushed out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Good run by Porter Smith. Nice block by Caskey, and then someone on the inside had a really good one too.
Well, wide receivers do a really nice job of sealing their guys in.
Oh, was that Reha that pulled around the tight end maybe?
But yeah, really nice job of guys up front getting their blocks. Pretty easy run right there for Porter.
Blue Jays lined up at the 5 or 6 yard line there.
Got that heavy formation again.
Porter tries going up the middle. Is met for little gain. Reese Rage is right there, ready to make play. Slow getting up on Porter. That's not what you wanted.
He kind of got twisted around there a little bit. If he had his plant foot in the ground still. Hopefully nothing too serious. Definitely don't want to see an injury on a night that's just a scrimmage, but
yeah.
It's football. Anything can happen.
Right. You can get injured in practice, scrimmage games. I mean, anything can happen. So, if you constantly are just trying to avoid injury, you're not really going to have anything either. So.
Well, he is getting close to hopping up here. It will be nice with him being if he's good to go and healthy, and Titus having that two-headed monster in the backfield all season long. Those guys being able to give each other some rest and being able to run hard the entire game. That'll be really hard on defenses.
Very, very similar athletes as far as both big, strong, fast kids. I mean, they're really both track stars.
Yep. Porter's a state qualifier. Titus is a state qualifier, so they can run.
He's getting some help off, but he's walking on it, so. It looks more like an ankle.
Yeah, hopefully it's just maybe a little twist there of a sprain on an ankle, something he can come back from relatively quickly.
We're going to have the second down at the 5 yard line for the Blue Jays here.
So I imagine we'll see Titus again at running back.
And then behind Titus and Porter, you'd have, I believe, Caleb Moore and Eli Larson. Although we saw Larson leave earlier, so.
Moore must have got a little faster from when I coached him in 7th grade.
I hope most players get a little faster since 7th grade.
He played fullback for us. I told him he was destined for the offensive line.
Maybe he took it to heart.
Might have.
So Caskey in the backfield next to Collison. 4 wide set. Collison looking to pass. Rolls out to his left, and he's going to be brought down by 13, who's not on the roster that we have.
Nope. I like that play call, though. Let's see if we can get him a nice pitch and catch for a touchdown here, get him comfortable, because there is going to be a time in the season where maybe we can't run it in from there and we're going to have to throw it. So
yeah.
I like that in a scrimmage, like, hey, let's see if we can't throw this thing in the end zone.
So this time we got Meyer to the left, Cram, Burt, and Mitchell to the right, although it looks like we're...
Yeah, a little confusion on who goes where there.
Looks like maybe we meant for Mitchell to line up tight, and he was out wide, so. So Blue Jays are going to take a timeout here.
How many timeouts you get in a scrimmage?
I don't know. Probably unlimited, right?
Whenever you want.
At least one.
Yeah. What do we got schedule-wise coming up? Who do we play?
Oh, geez. That I do have. If I go to
play Ballard next.
If I go to the right location, which Ballard, I just saw the registered an article. They get to play their first home game in 2 years.
Yep. After Derecho kind of destroyed their field.
So they have turf now. So that'll be interesting. but Ballard actually comes here next week.
Yep.
And then we go to DCG, to Gilbert, then Pella at home, and Carlisle at home, then to Perry, and finishing up with Boone at home, at Indianola, and Norwalk at home.
Nice little play right there. Roll Collison out, give him that option to throw it or run it. And Burt does a really nice job of driving that DB off, making a quick break to the outside, and that's an easy pitch and catch right there.
Good play.
Maybe a little push out of him, but I don't think you're going to get that called very often in high school football.
Not frequently. So Cram going to try to clean up the kick a third time and see if he can miss the upright. Little pitching wedge in. Oh, that was wide. Okay.
Wide right. Well, as a coach, you're looking for things to work on, and I think PAT might be one of them, which is fine. That's a simple fix. We know we can kick it.
Yeah.
It is probably a matter of just practicing it.
We definitely did lose a solid kicker last year. I mean, we mentioned Oscar earlier for his offense and defense, but he was also a very effective kicker.
Tell you what, one of the most important things, you got a kicker that can put in the end zone on kickoffs. You don't have to worry about guys going down and covering, giving up a big return. That's a huge advantage. So yeah, we'll definitely miss his skill set there.
And he was very effective on extra points, if I recall.
I can look for you.
I thought you had the stats there, so I was going to give you something to check. Normally, I'm much better about having stats ready, but
let's see here. Last year, kicking PATs, 28 of 29.
That's pretty effective.
High school, you'll take that. And he had about 20 touchbacks, about 20 out of 40.
Cram's kick, one hop to Capaldo at the 3. Yeah, if you can get 28 out of 29 on your extra points, you're pretty happy at the high school level.
Very much so. Seeing if we got any subs in, but it looks like we pretty much got a lot of the same guys out there.
Aspengren with Miller lined up next to him for the North Polk. Hands off up the middle. Miller weaves back and forth a little bit. Is met there. Looks like Cole Mitchell was there. And Meislin, I think, was the other one.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Pretty good job of those two collapsing on the runner. Both taking proper angles. Pretty easy play for him right there.
Everett's in there at defensive end. Everett White is.
There you go.
Screen pass outside, and Burt does a good job of chasing him down from behind before he can get going. That was Parkins on the reception.
That's really good closing speed right there. I think that's something that will be super valuable to the team, his ability to run things down. And he didn't start either. He's ended up playing safety, so
right.
He'd be another
Cram
guy.
started at safety.
Which there'll be times that Titus needs a breather.
Right.
And that looks like a pretty good guy to bring in.
Now with the 4 wide. Aspengren drops back, rolls out.
That's a hold.
Hits the crossing pass to Brimner. Brought down by Powers. There is a flag. It is a hold.
Yeah, 67. Had a pretty good hold on Harms. Took him to the ground.
Let's see. What do we got for North Polk linemen? 74 is Gavin Rawling. 57, we got Jackson McNulty. We got 67, Cole Sanger. And some subs, so now I'm not going to get the rest. But I always try to get all the linemen in as when I can because they don't get enough attention.
73 is a nice looking lad. Donald Lamp, 6'5", 250.
Punt is up. And Collison's going to fair catch it on the sideline.
Get maybe a little quick offense here. 1 minute left to play.
It's a running clock, though, so.
See if we try to score or just take a handoff and call it good.
I see Everett White out there on the field. Everett has a little more height than Oscar does. Lined up tight end. Cram and Burt to the high side. Meyer to the low. Collison going to roll out. And looks to throw deep. Titus Cram on the. Cram had a step on Cox, but the pass was just outside of reach.
I like the look so far of that rollout game. That's giving Colby that option to run it. Titus definitely had his guy beat. Colby's going to wish he had that one back. Just barely overthrew that thing, which is hard to do with Titus.
You know what it is? The wind stopped.
Oh, that must have been it.
The wind was gusting in his face earlier. Now it's down. That's just a subtle breeze. Blue Jays took a timeout, I believe, to conserve the clock there. Did you just run a replay of it? We're kind of debuting a new system here. We didn't have it last year for football, but we did. If you watched some of the soccer postseason, we did run some of the replay system on that. But this should be hopefully a little bit more effective at dropping replay clips and stuff like that, and which is just fun added entertainment to a amateur level broadcast.
Well, yeah, if people are going to have to listen to us, we should at least be able to entertain them with high quality video.
Mildly entertaining.
Yeah.
Or are we mildly amusing? Now I don't remember.
Well, I'm guessing with us taking a timeout there, we're going to take another shot here. I don't think we're just going to take a knee.
Everett, the tight end, lined up wide to the right.
With screen.
Yep. Charlie Rhodes gets through for a sack on Collison.
Really good job on North Polk. They had guys getting through, but then they also had a guy sitting on that fullback, so nobody was open. Colby really had nothing to do with that thing.
Charlie's blitzing again. Picked up this time. Collison throwing deep to Meyer. Meyer just outside of it.
Showing off the arm strength.
Yeah.
He can throw it.
And that was the matchup, Meyer versus Capaldo, that we were looking for when North Polk had the ball. We saw it there with the Blue Jays, and just a hair off.
Yeah, Meyer had a little step on him, but it was still going to be a pretty tough throw to get in there.
So 12 seconds left. I imagine we'll just take one more deep shot like that and see what happens. But
then we got Porter over there on the sideline. He's gingerly walking around. Probably won't see him the rest of tonight, but I can't imagine he's going to miss much time.
No, he came over to get his water, and that's the uncomfortable basketball sprained ankle. I think that if it was a game situation that mattered, I think you might see him back in there. But
True.
But not for a scrimmage. You're not going to. Gasky coming over to give him some words of wisdom. Sarah says, no, Mitchell, I got this. Okay? Now Quentin, man, you'd swear it was a bigger injury than it is.
And maybe it is. Maybe it's more than what we thought.
Collison drops back.
Wheel route.
And he's going to take off running. Makes the first man miss. Probably just want him to go down. I was going to say. Cole Wolf was coming over, and at that point, I'm like, you can just blow that whistle dead. We don't need this contact right here. Well,
that was a real nice 25 minutes for the Blue Jays what do we have, about a 19-6?
If we were keeping such a score, I do believe that's what it would be. What's that? I think so.
Do we score every possession?
Yes, because we didn't punt, because I don't know who our punter is.
Yeah, I was kind of curious who that was as well. I don't know if that was on our 2 deep.
It wasn't.
Okay.
I know in the
Any
past I've
guesses?
seen Cram punt. I've seen Eli punt. Now, whether either of those would actually be the punter, that I don't know. One of our 2 punters last year was new to the school district. We might have brought in a new kicker as well.
Yep.
There was a couple names on the roster that I think might be new students. So,
which he did a pretty nice job of coming in punting. The Brayton Hannon kid.
Yep.
So he did graduate.
Stepped in some cornerback too, which
Yep.
was always a little confusing because his number 16 and Oscar's number 15 looked very similar from this distance. So the way I read this, it's 7:15. We're going to have varsity situational scrimmage, bonus plays for teams as needed, and other situational plays. So I think you'll see some goal line activity.
Maybe 3rd and long type of stuff, short yardage stuff. Maybe they'll just surprise us.
And potentially anything that the coaches just feel like, hey, we haven't seen this. We'd really love you to run it. And so we'll see what happens. Turning into a nice fall Iowa night as the wind breezes by.
I think we're still in the summer.
You think I'm being aggressive on the fall? I just thought if it dropped like 20 degrees, it could feel like fall, right?
You keep your pumpkin spice to yourself.
Yeah. Not huge on the pumpkin spice. Oktoberfest maybe, but now we're kicking up with some wind noise. Yeah, now a little better. All right. It's the real catch-22 about an unair-conditioned box, about whether you let the wind roll through and risk a little wind noise or risk overheating of the old guys in the booth.
Which doesn't take much.
No. I suppose the other interesting thing to see is historically, as you got into bigger school districts, they threw a little more, right? So
probably more potential for.
As we see some bigger teams, are we going to see more passing?
I don't think so. You know, you look at our schedule, and it's still mainly the teams that we've played. We just happen to be bigger 3A schools. DCG is new. We've never played them.
Indianola.
Indianola has traditionally been in that old 4A, always been at the very bottom of that. So I think that they will they've got maybe the best running back in the state. So I imagine we'll see a heavy dose of him, which will be an interesting matchup with what we do, because I think we might force them into something they don't want to do. The team that we'll see that will probably throw quite a bit, is thrown quite a bit for a while, is Norwalk.
Yeah.
You know, they've been in that 4 wide set for a while. But yeah, I think everybody else we see will be pretty standard stuff we've seen. We've seen Ballard, we've seen Gilbert. Carlisle, if they don't have to throw it, they might not.
Right. I mean, Carlisle's offense, you know exactly what it is. It's the same offense they run as fourth graders for the last 15 years, all the way up through high school. So it's not a question of what they're going to do. It's just whether you stop it.
And we've got Boone, which we've seen them the last couple of years. They're a 4 wide type of team, or have been.
And Perry.
I'm not for sure what they'll. We haven't played them in varsity football.
I don't believe we have in a few years, yeah. So, but Boone and Perry are coming off lower success seasons. So you're really counting on those for a win. We tend to match up pretty equally with Carlisle. It seems no matter what the situation, we're always about the same.
I feel like that game a lot of times comes down to turnovers. Whichever team turns it over the less amount usually ends up winning. I think last year we didn't turn it over.
Nope.
And they turned it over 4 times, and it was 52-36 or something like that.
And they also had a couple key players get injured during that game. Ballard, we tend to be pretty close to.
They'll be interesting. They've lost, they lost some pretty good kids. They do have one Division I football player on their line. He's a big cat.
And Christensen probably will be their tailback. He's a big, strong running back.
Somebody told me that the Herman kid was out and was going to play quarterback for him.
Oh.
Which we know he's a heck of an athlete. He's a really good basketball player, and he's 6'2", and he can run and he can jump. So I don't know if he can throw, but I imagine he's probably going to be pretty solid if that is true.
Yeah.
I would think, looking at our district, Indianola is probably the front runner.
Sure.
Because they've got that experience playing bigger schools.
DCG is probably right there with them. I feel like they're typically.
But they're not in our district.
Oh, they're not. That's right.
They're not in our district.
Play them, but they're not in our district. That's right.
Then I would think between us and Carlisle.
And Norwalk and Pella.
Pella's not in our district either.
Pella, DCG, and.
Their first 4 are not in our district, I don't think.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So Ballard,
Gilbert,
okay. Pella, DCG are not in our district.
Carlisle, Perry, Boone, Indianola, and Norwalk.
Yep. I would think that Perry and Boone will probably be towards the bottom, and then Indianola's the favorite. Then those other three.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think we've got the potential. We've definitely got the playmakers.
Yep.
It'll probably come down to if we're pretty good up front, I think we'll be tough to beat.
So this does just look like a kickoff to start with, apparently. Barkema with the catch at about the 13.
And maybe they just decided to keep on rolling.
Yeah.
They'll just keep it the same because it looks like we're still rolling the same guys out there. It looks like they got most of their guys out there.
That looks like our starting lineup.
Yep.
And
well, who knows? Maybe they'll sprinkle some things in here for us to change it up.
So Collison with Caskey next to him. Hands off to Cram up the middle. Cram breaks it to the left. Cuts back up the middle. Brought down by Cox. Gain about 10 on the play.
Again, the Jays, that's kind of their one of their bread and butter plays is being able to run power, kick out that end, pull up the linebacker. Pretty easy sled in there for Titus for the first 5-6 yards.
Well, and if you can get 3 yards, get past that first line of defenders, and then make your cut, it's going to be good things every time. I mean, it's hard to go bad if you gain 3 or 4 yards every play.
Yeah, you give him that much space, it won't take him too many plays to bust one.
And taking Cram to the outside now. Good job by Parkins getting there first. Brings him down.
Really nice job out of North Polk stretching that thing out. They were surely not going to get beat to the edge on that one. They were ready for that just by alignment alone.
Parkins, I think earlier you said, was one of their leading returning tacklers, and you saw why there. He made a very aggressive play to keep the ball carrier inside of him, and then ended up making the tackle himself anyway. Collison hands off to Caskey. Not a frequent handoff to the fullback on our offense.
I think they were going with the surprise tactic there.
Loss of a yard or 2 on the play.
They were thinking
that nobody
pass as well. I would like Mr. Caskey here to open that arm up a little bit when taking that handoff. Don't need to fumble that exchange.
So Burt and Cram to the left side, Meyer to the right.
Let's throw the ball up to Burt here.
Colby going to roll out to the left. Hits Burt on the outside. Burt makes a good play. He's going to gain about 8 on the play. Brings up 4th and 7.
Same route combination. Call it a smash combo there, where that outside guy does a hitch or an out, and that inside guy does a flag route or a corner route. And that time he went to Burt, who was open. Probably the right read, just wasn't able to get enough yards.
And so here's going to be your answer on punting, and the answer is
John
Powers.
Wow, I don't think I would have guessed that. But I've never coached John, so I didn't know what his potential was.
It was a nice kick.
Looks good enough.
Made Capaldo take 10 steps back, so that's a good sign. Yeah, not a pure punter on the roster, probably. I mean,
sometimes they're hard to find. It's easier to find kickers nowadays because of all the soccer players, but the ability to punt is not always easy.
I mean, we've kind of been lucky with Everett and Brayton last year, but then before that was Badir, who
he could boom it.
I still think that kid should have been a D1 punter.
Yeah, he could hammer it.
Not that he's not having a great baseball career down at William Penn. Miller with the ball up the middle.
Really nice job out of Meisland to come from the strong side there and make that tackle. Cole was left unblocked and was going to come up and make that play, but Meisland does a really nice job of blitzing and running that thing down from the backside.
Fuller in that cornerback over on the near side now. Dump off pass to Miller. Meisland tracks him down. Out of bounds. Gain of about 4 on the play would bring up about 2 yards to go.
Or Polk definitely has the game plan of hitting those guys quick out in the flat and hopefully get up onto those wide receivers, get up onto the DBs and throw a block and get one guy to miss and get some running room.
Like you said, though, I mean, we're trying to shut down a run. It's hard to complete deep passes anytime in high school, so those short passes can be the make or break, too.
We typically bring some pressure, so.
A few guys offsides there.
The center, or the guard, left guard. That's who I'm guessing here. We definitely jumped, but I think 67 was first.
Donald Lamp, Cole Sanger. I didn't get through their whole lineup.
I don't think we jumped because he did. I think we definitely would have got a flag if he would have held his water there.
I think it was a good fake height call that tricked everybody, or half the people. Aspingan drops back, throws it. I think he was trying to hit the comeback.
Yep, he was looking for Sal there, and Andrew had really nice coverage.
This is going to force a punt.
It's good work out of the Blue Jays there, force a 3-and-out.
And this time Fuller's going to drop back with Barkema. Fuller was in for Meyer at cornerback. Punt is up, and good. Line drive punt splits the return men.
You know, the other nice thing that their punter's done, he's had 3 snaps that were pretty low, and in high school football, catching that thing and taking a knee is a killer because the ball is dead right there.
Right.
I've seen it happen. It's not good.
Yeah.
And he's done a nice job of keeping his knee off the ground every time.
Yep. And it is a lot of those little things that, like, you get that in the scrimmage, you're like, oh, we can fix that, and he's already there, so obviously he doesn't need to fix it. But those are the type of minor things that can really be picked up on in a live type situation. Blue Jays coming out, Fuller to the left, Meyer to the right. Caskey next to Collison with Cram behind him. Hand off to Cram up the middle. Cram up the gut, kicks it outside, and making some blockers or tacklers miss, and then breaks away. Still up, still going, and finally brought down at the 48-yard line after about 7 broken tackles.
Yeah, that was kind of a man's run right there. Again, really good blocking up front. Doesn't get touched till about 7 yards downfield.
3, 4, 5.
And then just refused to go down.
And really, if only one of those North Polk guys hustles back instead of the 2 that brought him down, I think he breaks that ankle tackle.
It was a really nice job out of the D lineman getting down the field.
Yep. Fake jet sweep.
That
Cram.
play action. Oh, that's a really nice look.
Little lower than what you probably were hoping for out of Collison on that throw, but it was a safe safe pass because it wasn't going to get tipped away. It was definitely going to be reachable by Fuller, and he gets the first down.
Love the action, though. Everybody's playing hard to jet sweep, and then you boot back the other way, drag that slot receiver, and he's wide open.
Mitchell coming out wide to the right now. Collison drops back. Dump off pass to Caskey. Wall of blockers in front of him. Caskey's going to break it out, and it's going to get Cram on the block in the back. Really didn't need to.
No, and it didn't help.
And you already had a gain of about 20.
The guy still made the tackle. But, again, good coaching points.
Just never hit a guy's back shoulders. I mean, it's –
I tell you what, I don't know if that's a penalty.
No, but the way the kid went down and you kind of fell on top of him and tripped almost over him.
The kid dove to make a tackle, and Titus was just kind of standing there. I don't think he actually pushed him.
The chances of getting called, though, are still pretty high.
Yeah, you got to get those hands high up.
Yeah. Set a screen.
Go block somebody else. Oh, they waved it.
Oh, they did? Okay.
They waved it. I think that was the right call.
Well, that's some impressive teamwork by the officials there. That's some midseason quality work out of them.
The screen game's been good tonight for the Blue Jays.
Collison steps up, throws it across the middle to Meyer. Meyer, I believe, held on to it.
He juggled it, but he went and re-grabbed it.
So just shy of the first down marker, it looks like. But, again, a good quick play. Collison steps up into the pocket and drives into the throw. Some quality camera work there by Ruley.
Goes with these quality shades he's got on. We'll get a shot of that.
Caskey running up the middle. Met by Cox and another player. Doesn't go down, driven all the way to the sideline, out of bounds.
It's good effort out of Caskey to get a first down, or is he not? I thought he got it.
He got the first down, okay.
Because they had him stopped.
Yeah, he just kept his feet moving, bounced off a little bit, and just went with Nick all the way to the sideline. It's probably the same number of touches Caskey had all last year in one game.
He's had a lot.
That almost looked like early forward motion out of us, but
tried that play action again, and North Polk was ready for it this time.
Were we forward leaning in the backfield?
Which one?
Both. It kind of looked like.
Yeah, I think they're okay.
Caskey coming out. John Powers coming in at fullback. Caskey with a little bit of a limp. Stopping to see Sarah. Shout out Sarah again. Collison drops back, rolling to the right, throws it in the middle, and that's going to be Cram with catch, touchdown, goes back in just to be sure.
We got a holding on the left side. I think it was House. He kind of did what North Polk did earlier, did a little takedown. It's either him or Reha. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Kind of came through with the diving motion and rode him to the ground.
Yep, that's a tough one.
The difference between grabbing a half of a jersey and falling on him versus just falling on him is very close to the same optics. So that's okay. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 18. Cram, Fuller, and Mitchell to the right. Meyer to the left. Powers in the backfield. Picks up Charlie Rhodes on the block. And they think called the sack.
Yep. And it looked like North Polk really did kind of have people covered up. They were using Titus, it looked like, as a decoy there to throw a bubble. Had Mitchell, Cole running to the corner. And then was it Bird or Fuller that was out there?
That was Fuller.
He was kind of running on a post route, with the safety was sitting on that. So I don't think we really had a lot of options.
We had one fullback in to pick up the blitz and had 2 blitzers coming, it looked like, too. So now Bert's in. jet sweep to Meyer. Meyer trying to get outside. John Powers with the lead block. And Meyer is out at the 2.
Boy, that was close. Same play he scored on earlier.
He made the dive attempt, but I think they said he stepped out at the 2. Even then, though, that'd be real close to the end zone as he dove. Powers and Burt with some good lead blocking over there on the edge.
Well, I bet they line up and just hand this thing off.
Cram is on the sideline. This is Caleb Moore in the backfield with Caskey and Powers in front of him. Caleb Moore up the middle, untouched.
Mr. Seidel
Bluejay
scored
touchdown.
that one. Holy cow, that thing was wide open. Excellent blocking again up front.
So Blue Jay run game still looking strong. Like you said, the line is definitely looking solid so far, which is always a great thing to have.
Yeah, right there, that makes them 4 out of 5 on their offensive possessions. I'd say you'd probably take that about every single time.
Now Falsgraf in to kick this one. Falsgraf is no good as well.
Oh, my goodness. It looked good off the foot.
It looked like a clean kick. I'm not sure.
It looked and sounded better than some of the other ones, but the wind is blowing this way a little bit, and I think he just pushed it to the right.
You know what it was? He's too close. Falsgrafs always like to be farther back.
True.
You drop that thing down at like the 30-yard line, he'll feel more comfortable. All right, so what do we got? Still Keith Fuller, Jacob Vanderlinden, and Caleb Moore, Batney Riak, Zach Sollers, Quentin Burt, Tyler Vanderlinden, Tyson Barkema, and we are short one player on the high side. And number 10, that's going to be Garnis.
Ethan Garnis.
Garnavillo going in. And Falsgraf is going to be the kickoff specialist here. I'm wondering if we're going to have a few more subs this time around, as I just see a few of the starters sitting on the bench, which a lot of times you don't.
I would think
that,
we're kind of at that juncture where we're going to see some subs.
Falsgraf with a good kickoff. Capaldo fields it at about around the 10-yard line.
See Bryce Baker hopping in there. I don't think we've seen him yet.
No.
Conrad Schoening, Tyler Williams. We've seen Everett. Looks like a Vanderlinden's
Jacob Vanderlinden's there at 34. Sollers in there at linebacker. Caleb Moore in there at linebacker. Quentin Burt as free safety. And Tyson Barkema over at cornerback. And passes up, complete. Barkema meets him, gain of about 5 on the play. Sal with another reception, obviously looking to be a key part of the Comet offense this year.
Yeah, I would guess he stays healthy. He'll be a 700, 800-yard receiver. Okay, Batney's offside.
You say you look like you might have been early there too. And Sal gets a step, and Fuller is not going to be able to catch him. That's going to be a 75-yard touchdown pass from Aspengren to Sal Capaldo.
I'll tell you what, them not calling it hurts us, because in high school football, that's a dead ball. And I mean, it's a scrimmage. Doesn't really matter. If it was a regular game, I'd be asking for the flag.
Yeah. Sir, can you call a
We
penalty
jumped
on
off
us?
sides.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he definitely tried timing that up and was off sides, but a really nice pitch and catch there. Like we were just talking about, Sal's going to be he's going to be a threat. I'm guessing that he'll see a lot of double coverage, and teams are going to try to force North Polk to run the football.
Hapler in here with his black pants again. Kick is up. And no good. That one I can't tell where it missed.
I think our kickers are jinxed tonight.
There was one that went in, and it was off the upright and barely
hit the
through.
upright and
yeah.
just went over by about a foot. Wow.
hopefully we're getting all of the bad kicks out of the way tonight. Any chance that's true?
Yeah, I think so. We'll definitely be better. And if not, then you just go for 2. We did that one year. Couldn't find a kicker. Just went for 2 every single time.
I think we talked about pulling out starters, but then some of them were still in on special teams, and so they're like, wait, I'm still supposed to go in?
I suppose they're probably thinking it doesn't really matter because we're not.
Right.
It's not a real play.
Right.
We just need you to go be a warm body.
Kick is up and fielded at, well, kind of fielded at 12 by Quentin Burt. Played a little basketball with at the same time.
Yeah, you got a nice turf hop there right back to him. Not always the case.
So definitely looks like we have some backup offensive linemen coming in. Baker was definitely going out there. Williams was going out there.
Well, I think what we saw tonight is probably pretty much what we expected. Offense was pretty darn efficient. Pretty good job running the football downhill. I do like some wrinkles that they mixed in there, some play action off of that jet sweep.
Yep, absolutely.
We've been a little predictable just running jet, being able to do some things off of that, I think will go a long ways for the offense, whether it's that play action, booting back the other way. The screens to Kasky have been a nice little surprise.
Right. So Vrew and House and Rehau were still in there. But then I think Williams and Baker are in there on the right side, if I'm seeing that right.
Moore and Vanderlyn in the backfield.
And Sollers as the quarterback. Pitch play to Burt. Gain of about 2 on the play.
Looks like North Polk's still kind of rolling with their guys a little bit. So,
well, and if you're Bondurant, you feel like you saw exactly what you wanted to see.
Oh, yeah.
And now you get them out before something bad happens because I don't know what could feel better than your first half on offense.
North Polk is looking to gain a little bit of confidence here, get a stop, maybe one more score.
Good blitz there by 41. That was Cole Wolf. Didn't quite get the tackle wrapped up, but definitely held him up long enough for some friends to get there. Caleb Moore is brought down for about that 2-yard loss, so we're back to 3rd and 10.
See if they air it out with Sollers here. Got a feeling they'll take a shot
Looks
with
like
him.
Schoning's in there. I think Schoning's lining up as a tight end right now. So him and Sam Fuller to the right. Everett to the left, Caleb Moore to the left. Soller's going to look to throw to Moore on the 5-yard out. A little behind him on the throw.
Pretty good coverage out of 32, even if it was on target. I don't think he wasn't going to get the first, and he wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah, Cox was right there in his pocket.
We're going to see another John Powers punt.
You don't think they're going to fake it?
No, we need one more guy, too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the line and 4 back. Yep.
Short of tight end over here.
And our man in the middle on the line or on the back line is asking like, "Hey, do you really want us to kick this?" A nice kick by Powers there.
Well, you can kick it with that many, but they need to move a guy up on the line of scrimmage because it should have been a penalty. Only 6 guys on the line.
Ball fair caught at the 46. So, kick of about 34 net.
We're going to need a couple more guys to go out there. We got 8.
Now Barkham is coming out. That gets us to 9.
You can play with 9.
Well, if you don't score 11 on 9, that's probably not a great sign. All right, so we are going to call timeout. Baker's supposed to be out there, and
who's our other guy? Need one more.
He was going to tell Meyer to go out there and then change his mind and told Burt to come out there.
Okay.
Burt was over on the bench, so we were looking for a free safety.
Got about 9 minutes to go. This is it, right? We're not doing anything after this 9 minutes?
It's absolutely hard to say.
True. I've been a part of these. A lot of times they do not go as planned.
The clock and schedule and all that's a little more up in the air for the scrimmage than it is for the regular season games. Regular season games will start promptly at 7:30, if my memory is correct, which the plan is to stream all of the Bondurant for our football games that are home here in the Bird's Nest, with the Bird's Nest as the sponsor.
Do we know are other schools still streaming for the most part?
The belief is most of the teams that we go against should be streaming. Whether it's going to be universal or not, it's hard to say. But hopefully that's one of the positive things that come away from this COVID world that we've been in, is that we get these live feeds, not just for the people that can't make it to the game, but for the grandparents that, got away from the Iowa weather and moved down to Arizona or Florida or wherever they may be.
Ooh.
Steps up in the pocket, brought down by Winger.
Really good coverage out of our guys again. There wasn't, didn't see a single guy open.
Looks like maybe we're preparing for Williams to come in at center. Whether he actually is or they're just preparing for it, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he is listed as the backup.
He was the center for the JV game, so.
Yeah, he is the backup center.
Schoening, Winger, Riak on the line for the Blue Jays, along with Baker. Ball up.
Oh, good throw. Really good throw. I'm guessing Sal doesn't drop that very often.
Good coverage there by Barkema, keeping him in front of him. Capaldo on the comeback. Just not quite able to come up with it.
I think that really was probably about his best throw of the night. He put it right where he was supposed to.
One thing's for sure, that wasn't like it was either Sal's ball or nobody's catching it.
Yeah. No, he threw it away from the defender, put it in a great spot.
Which there's a lot of value in putting in a low-risk spot. Falsgraf back there with Barkema this time on the punt. Punt is up. Barkema is going to go over towards the sideline. Fair catch at the 15-yard line. With 7:06 on the clock here.
Well, it looks like Meislin is going out there. I wonder if he's just putting himself out there.
It does look like he's actually in there, though. Can't blame a guy for trying to sneak out onto the field.
No, you miss a year of football, you're going to get as much as you can.
So we got 58 going out there. Tyler Harms is back, yeah. So Baker's out there. Looks like maybe he's going left side now instead of Riha.
Yep.
Soller still in at quarterback.
Still got Meislin.
So
Still got Harms. Still got Vrew, it looked like, at center.
Moore with the carry. Make good break back up the middle. Brought down on the play by Miller, 33. 33 is Blomquist.
Nice blocking once again by the guys up front. And it is always nice. You come in as a JV running back and you got to go against the other varsity team, you really hope that the coach leaves the varsity line in there so you don't get killed.
Yeah. No, that is Williams in at center. Moore, good cut back up the middle and then drags the runner or defender with him to pick up the first down.
Jay's kind of going with that diamond look right there. That's a really nice run out of Moore.
Yep.
He must have gone a lot faster from 7th grade.
Is that Fuller and Jacob Vanderlinden in the backfield in front of him? A little funny on the handoff there.
Yeah, sometimes the timing's not perfect just yet, and that looked like one of those where the QB and the tailback ran into each other just a little bit, threw off the timing. Pretty good push out of 73. Donald Lamp.
Let's see, I got Will Hersilius here at cornerback on this side. Cohen Torres at a linebacker. Play action. Soller's going to look to pass. There's a flag, and he's brought down.
He had a shot. He had a shot at Barkema.
Was the only one.
Yep, he was by him, but just didn't quite have enough time to get rid of it.
I think that was Hersilius and Yoakum on the defense of the pass.
Wolf and Boatman maybe on the sack.
About a little under 4 minutes here on the clock. 2nd and long for the Blue Jays after the holding penalty. And they're going to go try to throw deep to Barkema again. And ball drifts out of bounds. Incomplete.
Pretty good coverage there. And a Hersilius.
Wasn't a ton of room to work with on the sideline there.
No, you got to try to keep that ball in bounds. Give your player a shot at that thing, and he just couldn't quite do it. I don't know if the wind's still playing a little bit of a factor out there. We got no flags in our goalpost, so I can't tell how windy it is.
The other side does by the scoreboard.
Oh, I was looking for the flags on top of the goalpost, not the. You're right. It is still blowing pretty good.
More of the ball carrier, a couple cuts up the middle, picks up a yard or two. North Polk does a good job of shutting that down. And Blue Jays are going to look to punt again. With the invisible 2-score lead and 2.5 minutes left. Gonna have a safe punt here by Powers.
We got 11 this time.
That's helpful.
Oh no!
And that actually would have been a turnover.
That's live.
Well, it might have been a turnover.
True. Yeah, I don't know how they would have ruled that, but
about 30-yard net in the air, and then rolled back after the tip. So only gained about 15 yards on the punt after the North Polk player tipped it towards the end zone.
And with a little over 2 minutes to go, I'm guessing we'll probably see mainly runs here, get this thing over with.
Oh, drops back to pass. Try and hit Cox on the rollout. Burt coming up limping a little bit. Meyer, pay attention. You're supposed to go in there. There you go. Looking to pass again. And trying to hit Cox.
Ooh.
Hits Vanderlinden in the back shoulder.
He needed just a little bit more distance on that, but that's a pretty good job out of Vanderlinden to run with that tailback coming out of the backfield. Very little room to throw that.
Minute left on the clock. North Polk looking to throw here. 3rd and 10. Fake the draw play. Throws it deep. And Keith goes for the swat. Not quite able to get there. And Haney's going to score.
Game of inches right there because Keith had to be
close.
Just missed it. Maybe even hit it.
Right.
But
it was
really nice.
It was a great pass for one. I mean,
really
it was
nice
right where it
job
needed
catching
to be.
it. He threw the ball hard. Tough to tell with that angle, but I don't think he got a hand on it at all. At this juncture in the game, though, I don't blame him going for an interception.
Hey, and that one is up, and the officials look at each other and do agree that it is through the uprights.
That one looked good. Only took 7 tries to get a clean one.
No, that's a clean one. Yeah, okay. I would say it's the second one that went through, but yeah, first one that cleanly went through. How do you onside kick a non-kicking event?
Yeah, when you can't recover it.
Barkema, Burt, and Fuller back there to catch the kick. .43 seconds left on the clock for this. Blomquist kick up and gonna roll out of bounds. I'm guessing we'll still start on the 20, even though
I would think so.
It is technically a penalty to have the kickoff go out of bounds.
Yeah, I would think so.
But it does not look like there's any intent to enforce that penalty.
No, I guess we got one more play here, and that'll probably be it.
And let's see, we got definitely have some of our players that were in the JV game in right now. I see Falsgraf out there, Tyler Vanderlinden out there, Ethan Garnis, Tyler Williams, Marcus Teed, Baker Solers. Teed in at the tailback. Handoff. Goes left side, gets around the first guy and brought down by Torres on the play. Ten seconds. I don't think we're going to be running another one. So that may be the end of our scrimmage. It's definitely the end of the timed scrimmage.
I think that'll be it. I think everybody's...
It does look like we're lining up. That's going to be the end of the scrimmage. So with that, a overall successful night for the Blue Jays and Comets. Here at Blue Jay Digital, we want to wish the North Polk Comets good luck on their season. No concern about them playing us in the really at all if they're 3A. So
nope.
We'll go ahead and win all of them. That's fine. We're good with that. Good luck, Comets. And thanks for following along at Blue Jay Digital. And we'll see you next week at Bondurant for our Blue Jay Stadium for a game against Ballard. Go Blue Jays. Good night.